call her, she doesn't answer because her office is closed, of course.
Right.
But at any rate, I don't know if she went on vacation to Florida. I think she's got another place, but she does have listings here to be sold. And the thing of the matter is, I could get in touch with the real owner right now, who's out on Long Island.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. I have to mute YouTube. Go ahead.
So I'm wondering if I should just contact, how much trouble could I get into if I contact the person out on Long Island?
If she has a viable contract, you could get into a lot. She could report you to LIBOR and stuff like that. So I would just first try. I think that's what Roy Sobel was suggesting. First, try to get a hold or see if somehow she, it is legal that she has, or whatever advice he gave. But yeah, I think you get into a lot of training. You have to be careful.
Well, I spoke to MLS. There is no exclusive on it whatsoever.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I emailed them. They gave it to me in writing that it's not there. And then I spoke to them on the phone. It's not there.
I would try to get a friend. If you're gonna do it, call either Esther or Connor, explain the situation, and then at least if you have a backup, then you could always say, hey, I reached out. Because no, if you think it's a viable listing and they're bullshit, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. But I would just have a friend on your side just in case.
They're dog eat dog here in Rockaway.
No, I hear you. It's the same way it is everywhere, to be honest with you. So I could respect that. The one thing you just want to do is you just want to make sure that you have backing. You have the blessings. That's what I would do. All right. Because we are not live on Facebook, nobody has a damn clue. Nobody has a clue we're here, so it's going to be kind of a quiet day, I think.
You know what it is? I have no listings, and this would be a listing that I could go after that I know I could sell, and I could sell it.
No, I hear you. We get unique ones. Like we just got this house barge. He's pretty much ready to go. We're going to put it on exclusive, not to market it for 2 or 3 weeks because he wants to fix one other thing. It's a nice barge. It really is a nice barge. So we'll hopefully get that listing. And we have 2 more, but everyone's scared crapless still over Corona. So we can't touch anybody. That's the problem.
I know of house barges that were out in Seaford that I could have gotten for $35,000, and I should have done it.
Well, you know what it is when you see them for like 30, 40,000. How long ago were they? It
was about 8 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say there was a time that the pricings were very low. I wish I would have bought 8 and 9 years ago too. I agree. Right now they're starting to move up because of the tiny house craze. People like smaller houses. They like the idea of living on the water. In comparison, like right now, I'm all in with utilities, give or take about $1,500 a month. I pay no taxes, and and that's the greatest thing. So this is a very comfortable life. I live in a 1,500 square foot house for $1,500. The average home, 3-bedroom home in Port Washington, that's around that 1,500 is still $500,000, and you're going to be paying $15,000 to $20,000 in taxes a year. So
yeah, so you're talking about $1,500 you're paying with the mortgage.
No, I have no mortgage.
Wow.
These things are cash for the most part. I had a small mortgage, and to be honest with you, we have 1 more month left. The lady took a private loan, a private mortgage with us for 3 years. We paid it off. The next month I own it officially. So I really have no mortgage left. So the $1,500 is including the slip fee, which is like the rent for the slip. I'm paying like $800 to $900 for that. Then it's electric, cable, and all the basic utilities. So I can't complain. And if I could, what I'm looking to do is find a piece of land in a canal of some sort, plop it there, and then the only thing I'm doing is paying taxes. And then I'll have the city water, city sewage, city electricity, all that stuff, and I don't have to rely on the marina.
You want to laugh? There is actually a place in Rockaway that a slip could be built on the Jamaica Bay, and the area is up and coming. And if
Right.
somebody bought this piece of land, and I tried to sell it a while ago, this guy wanted to put a teleport, not teleport, a landing pad for a
Right.
helicopter for people coming from JFK Airport, which would be a hop, skip, and a jump. You can actually see the runway where
Wow.
it is. And if you bought this piece of land, you could put, and this is what I always wanted to see, a marina there, because we don't have a marina here in
You guys
Rockville.
do, believe it or not, but it's in a really bad area of Rockaways. And because we were looking at various marinas, there is one somewhere, I forgot where, but it's in a really scary part of the Rockaways. That when I looked at the marina, the reviews on it said you could hear the gunshots off every night.
Well, this shots, okay, because the neighborhood's up and coming. I know what you're talking about. That's further down, way further down.
Right.
This one is close to the Cross Bay Bridge, and it's
Okay.
just a piece of land, and it jets out. And quite frankly, it would be great if they allowed anybody to put a slip there, and you could put maybe 20 boats there. The neighborhood are all hipsters.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. If that's up and coming, that would be a great investment. You're 100% right. What I'm looking for, though, is just a little piece. And to be honest with you, I don't think I want South Shore, is because you guys are right on the Atlantic.
No, Jamaica Bay.
Oh, okay. That's true. That's Jamaica Bay. So it's an inlet.
This is the Jamaica Bay, and it's actually about 5 blocks from the ocean.
Right.
So you could walk to the ocean, but it's an area. In fact, the area is exactly where I sold this one house, and the guy who bought it, okay, turned it into a 10-bedroom because above, I mean, not a 10-bedroom, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, a 6-family home.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it at one time, and I mean, it was really run down. It was really horrible. And I had so many people interested, but a lot of people didn't want to do the work.
Right.
And he bought it for $200,000. He fixed it up, and in 3 years, he was flipping it for over $1 million.
There you go. There you go. That's what we have. We have like 2 flippers right now, so we're looking for inexpensive homes that they want to flip. So you'll be surprised. Okay, we're gonna jump into it. Hopefully, some people will join us. If not, this will be a private lesson. Okay, what I want to go over today are some smart plans. I think we're talking about ads, and we're all thinking about the ads, but one of the most important part that Alex is teaching us, and that we need, is smart plans, is follow-up. We really do stink at follow-up, and I think it's human nature, and our drunk monkey, if you're from the Bold group, the drunk monkey will always gives us excuses of why we can't and why we should and why we don't. And I think once you start implementing a simple follow-up plan of some sort, that it's going to help you in the long run. So it's extremely important for any industry, especially in real estate, to really have a strategy of follow-up. It's extremely important in the sense that we look for leads, we make a call or 2, we make a call or 3, or call or 5, and all of a sudden they don't answer, they're not getting back to us, and that's it. The lead disappears. We put it somewhere. Maybe we follow up with it. I went to a marketing, the real estate convention last year, I think in the 3rd quarter. I went with KW, but I went on my own for my company. I must have gotten 30 to 40 leads. They are still sitting in all these cards, business cards and notes and follow-ups are sitting on top of my desk. I've yet to call up and follow up with them. So here's the man saying to follow up that absolutely stinks at following up also. So I know I've wasted a ton of business and potential just if I would have a follow-up strategy. So I think
who is the man? Daryl Davis?
No, that's me. I was the guy that didn't follow up.
Oh, what convention did you go to?
No, it was the Manhattan not LIBOR, whatever Manhattan realtor convention they had.
Okay.
And it was like all the Manhattan real estate agents, and real estate agents are my client base. And I met also security people. I met a ton of different people. I swear they must have had about 2 dozen to 3 dozen people. Yeah, give me a call. Let's see if we can work something out. Yeah, give me a call. Nothing. And I got so busy with KW, then the world ended, and all the other crap. Again, drunk monkey excuses. That's all they are. Where if I would have had a smart plan set up for each one of these, at minimum, I could have put them on the smart plan and I could have followed up. Okay. And at least I would have gotten somewhere. So, what I'm trying to get all our agents to do is to understand that the smart plans are our friend and we need a follow up system. You need to think ahead of what type of follow ups you're going to need. And the custom creation is very simple. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. Okay. Why are smart plans? Smart plans are important. We just covered a few of them. Like I said, we suck at follow up. We really do. Now, if you're a particular agent that's great at follow up, you have an admin, they do a great job of it. Then this is only going to help your arsenal. That's all it is. The smart plans are also important for continuous follow up. We have a tendency of call or text or email once, twice, 3 times. Each one of us have a number where once that number's hit, we stop we hit that wall and we stop the follow-up sequence. Statistics have shown that the average contact to conversion ratio, meaning how many times you got to get a hold of the person, whichever way we get a hold of them, before they actually will potentially listen to your brand, is 7 to 8 times. Okay, those are statistics. So we usually stop at 3 or 4 or 5. So sadly, we're probably right there and we give up and then the person turns around. It could likely be that the person's busy. Maybe a certain message didn't connect with them, whatever the reasons, but we need continuous follow. That's why if you listen to the ads that we run in Facebook and stuff, it's retargeting. The retargeting is what's going to get these people to react to you. If you remember what Alex is saying and how the funnels work, it's you send out a snare. Once they're inside that snare, now they're targeted because now they've had engagement with us. Now that first engagement, they might not have given us anything, but now we have their cookie on their website. We have their information. So now we're continuously sending out information, okay, which is the next part of the sales funnel, and updating them on who we are and what we're about. The same thing what smart plans do. It's just a continuous follow-up. We need to plan ahead with them, okay? If you could think of the 3 to 5 basic scenarios, how you would need to follow up with your client base. You work with buyers. Do you work with sellers? I know that Alita, who's on, she works with investors. So you can set up simple smart plans that will continuously follow up with your client base and always be top of mind. The whole point of this is to send targeted follow-up email based on the interest of that lead. So many of us are into this. I got to have a newsletter. I got to have a newsletter. No, you don't have to have a newsletter. You have to have a follow-up plan. You have to have content and information that the average buyer, seller, investor will be interested in. That's why a blanket email newsletter to everybody, unless you're wishing them happy Merry Christmas or happy birthday or whatever you're wishing them, happy Memorial Day, it's not going to work, because if you put seller information in there and it's a buyer, they're turned off. If this is an investor, they could give 2 craps about a buyer or seller information. So you need to send targeted follow-ups, and smart plans allow that. Okay. And it also keeps the conversation going. No matter where your conversation ends in a smart plan, okay, no matter what you're doing with that the conversation you're having, whether it's an expired listing, whether it's a FSBO, whether it's an investor, a buyer, a seller, it keeps that conversation going, and you don't even have to be that involved with it if you plan ahead and set those conversations up. Imagine a FSBO where you said, you know what, not a problem. If I have somebody, Mrs. Jones, I'll keep in touch with you. But if you don't mind, I'm going to send you a few newsletters and some information on how to potentially help you sell your home. Now, a lot of people sit there and they scratch their head when I make that statement. I provide a ton of my clients with all the information to market themselves. I'm putting together how to build a website because I know this as a minimum. Your intentions are good, but once you see all the crap that goes into building a website and marketing yourself and doing all this stuff, you're going to sit there and say, yeah, no. Because again, we're all so busy. Okay. Just like you are extremely busy and it takes a lot to sell a home. When you show the recipe of selling a home to a FISBO, they're going to sit there and go, that's crazy. I can't do all this. I have a full-time job. I know. That's why having a real estate agent who's a full-time real estate agent is the way to go. So you could literally plan out and say, here are the things you need to do, Mrs. FISBO. At minimum, you're going to be getting great love because you're helping them out. Odds are they're not going to sell that house. You're going to be able to sell that house. And after a few follow-up emails, they're going to say, crap, I just can't do this anymore. Where's Augie? Let me get a hold of him. And you're going to be top of mind. That's where keeping the conversation going. And that's why it's extremely important. Okay. Any questions so far?
Is it a website that you're building?
No. What you're doing here is you're building a follow-up system. The smart plans are follow-ups.
Okay, because I'm still working on this website thing. I still have a hard time doing that, but that's okay.
We're going to probably go over like branding your website.
I don't even know how to do the website. That's my problem.
Okay. I just finished it with who did I finish yesterday? Let me see what I could do about getting Scott Leroy Marketing to set up a basic marketing thing for you. And then the only thing you need to do is go in there and edit it accordingly. See, you're in a unique area and a generic page is not going to help you. You need to have one about Rockaway. You know what I mean? You need to show pictures. So try to set up an appointment with me and I'll at least we'll walk through it. I'll tell you where you have to go and I'll give you the homework you need to do.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. And then when you get all the homework together, we'll go back in and I'll show you where to plop the homework.
Okay. So this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slides. Is that what you send out?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is just for smart plans.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is just information for us. We only have 2 more slides and then we're going to go right into the smart plans.
Okay.
Things you could do with your smart plans. You could set up reminders for set up call to call people. So how often do we sit there and go, okay, who am I going to call today? Well, if you start using the smart plans properly and you start getting ads going and leads coming in and you're putting on these particular leads and contacts in a certain smart plan and you time it out properly, these smart plans will remind you, okay, today you said you were going to call Adam, Baker, and Jones. Okay, so now I got 3 calls I got to do today. It's great to do that to keep you organized. Okay. It sends out automatic text messages. Text messages get opened 98% of the time to 99% of the time. Emails get opened, if you're lucky, 10 to 20% of the time. And that's a big stretch. So I rather have 9 out of 10 people opening my message instead of 2 out of 10 people opening my message. And the message could be more or less the same thing. Okay. You just got to be a little bit more straightforward on the text message, but you could still link to a blog post or an email or something. I mean, you could link to a lot of different things for that client, for them. So, it's all on how smart you're going to be using your text messages. You could send out basic emails. Now, I know everybody wants to have a fancy schmancy newsletter. You don't need fancy schmancy. You just need a basic newsletter or an email that says, hey, here is my app, click here. Hey, here's my website, click here. Hey, here's a video that I really thought you would like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's that simple. Okay. The great thing is you could chain these smart plans. So if you have a smart plan just for, like, they have the pre one that sets up to send out the app for people. You could then set them up to go on to another smart plan after the app. So
Yep,
maybe
yep.
one sends out the app, make sure they have it, and then you set up a separate smart plan that shows them how to use the app or the website, and then you go from there. So there's a lot of little things you could do with the smart plans, and also it helps you create tasks. So in a smart plan, you might have something particular that you do with your investors. Well, it's going to plop in there and say, hey, Alita, you need to do this for your investors and get this out, whatever it might be. Okay. So that's the great thing with the follow-up is the follow-up is not only just with your clients or leads, it's with you.
And where do we find these smart plans? They're here someplace.
They're here someplace. They're
And where's-
inside. They're in command, and we're going to log in there in like probably 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And we'll show that. See, the second you say Alita's name, she perks up.
I know.
I hope you and hubby are doing well, dear.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. What kind of smart plans should you create? These are just a few that are off the top of my head. First of all, there are already pre-done ones in there for you. You have your neighborhood smart plan, which once you put somebody in, once you create a neighborhood page for each individual lead, there's a plan to send out every single month or twice a month a follow-up to them, say, hey, don't forget, here's some new houses that were on your neighborhood page. Maybe you want to jump over there and take a look at them. All right. There's one that automates about your app. Just send it automatically out. Hey, thank you, Mr. Buyer, for coming into my Facebook lead or reacting to this, that, or the other thing. Here's my app. Okay. Great thing about the app, guys, it works all over the United States. So if some of you do investing in Ohio, you could actually send your app out and it will work for houses in any MLS system in the United States. So that's extremely, extremely important to remember. Good afternoon, Mr. Evans. Appreciate you trying to join us on Zoom.
But only if the property is listed with
only
MLS.
if the property is listed. Correct. Correct.
So if it's not a listed property, if it's an off-market property, which is
yes,
what we're
it won't
going
do
after.
anything off market. That is correct.
Mm,
But it's still, you're halfway there.
yeah. Okay.
But
But it's not tied to Zillow or
no, none of these. This is 100% our programming and us.
So it's all totally MLS based.
As long as it's in an MLS system anywhere in the United States,
coast to coast.
will connect to our app.
Yeah.
So that's great if you have people who are moving to another state. Hey, I want to move to Boca Raton because New York sucks.
Yep.
Whatever. You could literally have the person work off your app or your website, get all the information, and then use a command to find a fellow agent down there in a referral, and half the work is done for them. Okay. So, and that client could still keep on contact with you. That's the great thing. So if they see a house anywhere in the US, they could still ask you, what's the story with this house? And you could do a little investigative work. Really is that simple.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
You want to also, it also has a ton of long-term contact plans. You have an 8x8 inside there. You have a 30, you don't have a 32 touch, but you have a quarterly plan. You just got to keep repeating that. Like you could, part of the smart plan program is it'll restart itself at a certain point. So you could go right back to the beginning, assuming it's generic enough, the plan that it will continue and restart. So you could keep going. The idea is to, one way or another, at least reach out to all your leads and contacts once a quarter. So you're contacting them 4 times a year. If you maintain that 4 times a year, okay, I think they had said something like, even if you only had a database of 500 people and you just maintain that call base, you could still hit $1 million mark on sales, because there's that much business out there that's repeating. Because don't forget, right now the big kick is people want to get out of the city because they've been holding up in a small studio or small apartment city looking at 4 walls and cement. Now all of a sudden suburbia looks good to these to the millennials and stuff. You know, oh my God, I could have a yard. You know, that's the good thing about Long Island. You could actually, there's parks and yards and grass. You know, in the city, there's only so much you could possibly enjoy. Now, some of the other ways what you should create seller and buyer follow-up plans. So if you're planning on doing Facebook ads or Google ads or any other type of advertising, which I suggest you do, you want to have a follow-up sequence to that. So think of the type of ads you're going to have and think of the follow-up plan. Is it a listing that I'm putting out there? Okay, if it's a listing, what type of follow-up do you want to do for that listing? Andy and her assistant has done a great job of, they create smart plans for each listing. And then they follow up based on the type of ad and listing that is. So if it's a co-op, the follow-up sequence is all information about buying a co-op. Okay, if it's a large house, a luxury home, here are all the things you got to know about luxury homes in the area. That's the type of stuff, and it's all automated. Once you do the creative stuff and you already create the ads and all that, the system does it all for you. Plans to follow up on how to use your website and consumer app. This is something I'm trying to create for myself now. I think we need to be able to handhold these clients and these leads by explaining to them how to use our apps and website. What a great way to do a quick Zoom call, or do like 2-minute tips. Here's a 2-minute tip today on how to find XYZ on my app. Go into it and you do a quick screen share or video of that. Same thing when it comes down to the website. Try to be open, but you could then follow up with these people by putting all these things into an email or follow-up system. Number one thing, you're going to be doing virtual open houses, because we don't know how, what happened?
I need your help.
Oh, with the virtual, yeah, then set up. We'll chat. That's not a problem.
Okay. It's about Facebook ad.
Okay, what about it?
When it comes to add the URL for my website, it couldn't get it. It says that it appeared that the URL is down.
The URL is down?
Uh-huh.
The hell does that mean?
I don't know, but it's a custom website.
That shouldn't matter. You should be able to put in whatever website you want to put inside the URL box.
Yeah, that's the thing. But when they give me access only with the custom website. When I choose it, it says that the URL is down. And
now, is your website up? When you go to the website, is it working?
The website now, when I go to GoDaddy, try to, let's say, direct the website to the custom domain that I have. Even if you type, let's say, if you type the custom website, it's gonna appear only the one with Keller Williams.
Okay, what's the website name? Give me the address.
It's evansflorial.com.
Evans, EVA.
EVENS.
NS.
FLOREAL.com. FLOREAL.com.
Okay. Hit forwards, fine.
Okay, the only thing now, you cannot mask it, you see? It's
no, you can't. Well, you can't. You could try masking it, but right now I wouldn't, because there is hope that eventually these domain names, instead of forwarding, you're going to be able to connect to it directly through domain name server. So what you're saying is, when you put in evanflores.com, .com, it's the Facebook campaign is rejecting it.
Yes.
What I would try to do then, just use the subdomain, because I don't think they're going to show the domain name anyway. It's going to link to it.
Okay.
So
also, now it was, I saved the draft before that. Now when I get back to the draft, I couldn't find the draft.
Okay, it should be in there. For whatever reason you still have trouble, hit the support button and see if you could talk to the people live.
Yeah, I'm online now for that.
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
your
waiting
best.
for
But I would suggest use the subdomain because I don't think they show that domain live anyway.
that. Okay.
All right, so you can still use it on your business card and other stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's fine. But I was trying since yesterday. Uh, I couldn't even save it as a drive. I did this morning, but now when I get back, I can find it.
Okay, well, hopefully it's back again.
Okay.
Hopefully, that's what command does. Sometimes I have to log out, log back in, refresh the screen. I've done some crazy stuff. The number one thing you have to have when you're working with command is patience.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We're doing a lot of virtual open houses. We're doing a lot of Zoom calls for open houses, stuff like that. It is extremely important to follow up with that. Just if they weren't really happy with the home you show them, that doesn't mean anything. That means they're still open, assuming that they don't have a buyer rep and it's an actual client, not a customer. They're open game, and you should be able to follow up with them until you can make them your own client. So that's a perfect way to use smart plans. Seller leads, we talk a ton about buyers. What type of follow-up are you doing with sellers? Okay, don't hard hit sellers. Don't say, I could sell your home, I could sell your home, I could sell your home. Hey, just wanted to tell you, here are the values of what's going on in your home, and link to some report you have. Do you want to see what's going on your website? Link to the page. I don't know if you guys know this. We're on Evan's page. Let's go on here and do Port Washington, right? New York. You go into Port Washington, New York. Now, each one of these pages, depending on the neighborhood, and of course, I had to pick the neighborhood that doesn't have it. But each one of these neighborhoods that you put in, very often we'll put a neighborhood link here with statistics. Let's try Great Neck. I don't know why it didn't. Let's try this. There's two things you could do. And of course, Great Neck didn't have it either. You could either click and use this search location and copy this link here and send it to them. Say, here's, some information about Great Neck. Here's some information about Plando, whatever neighborhoods you want, and link back to your site. If you know the certain houses they're looking for, you could link back to this, to these, to the house. But if it's a seller, you could use your website to show off the neighborhood statistics. Where else are they? They should be here. Yeah, there are places in here. You just have to play with it that will give you the whole neighborhood and the little snap report update on it. And of course, today I want to show you it's not really playing nice. So that's the way life is. But there are definitely inside here the neighborhoods that you could put in here, how many days are on the market, all this. But there's an actual page that you could link to. Okay, so that's really important. And monthly newsletters. Remember, a monthly newsletter doesn't have to be filled with fluff. We're all talking, well, I want to have my logo on the top and I want to do this, I want to do that. Why? If it's information that they need and the information is quality, they're going to react to the information, not because you have a beautiful floral design on the top of your newsletter. Okay? Very simply, use what you have. It's the information and the follow-up. And we're going to get into that right now. All right. Any questions so far on what we've reviewed? Okay, good. Command. Where's my command? Okay, here we go. Sorry, I had to find it. All right, so you log into command. You're going to be plopped inside the main section here, okay? Once you're here, Smart Plans is the third main link on the top here, okay? Don't forget you need to have contacts within your system to use Smart Plans, because the people that are in your leads and contacts are in here are who you're going to put on these Smart Plans. Okay, does that make sense? So you come to Smart Plans,
Can you go back and do that again?
No.
Okay.
You're in the home page, right? I always hit the KW for you guys because most of the time you don't know where the menus are. So you go to you hit the KW, it opens up the menus. When you're in the menus, these are the various apps that are within the KW command. So in this case, we're using Smart Plans. Smart Plans is connected to contacts because without contacts, you can't add a smart plan to them. Did that make sense? I think.
Yeah, but you got to have the right email attached to it. That's the problem.
Well, you need an email and or you need a phone number. So yeah, you're going to need it, but hopefully that's part of the follow-up sequence. Part of the contacts, your quarterly calls and all that is to get right contacts. You know, this is what I wouldn't concentrate on what you don't have. Concentrate on what you do have and getting more of it.
Okay, I'm in command in my
Okay.
phone. I'm in connect,
Right.
but I only have chat, connect feed, QR code, and referral network.
Okay, that's because you're in the wrong thing. You shouldn't be in connect. You should be in command. So on the that's why doing it on your phone really isn't the greatest. But if you're going to go on the phone, what you want to do is go on Kelly. All right, I spent 1 second. You're going to make me connect to my phone, aren't you? 1 second. I'm connecting. Give me 1 second and I'll show you how to use command on your phone. But to be honest, you really shouldn't. Where is it? Okay, hold on 1 second. Advanced features. Link phones to window. Display phone screen. Start now. Hold on. Okay. 1 second. Where's my phone? Everybody see my phone? Yes?
Yes,
No?
yes.
Okay. You go into command. And of course, it doesn't automatically log me in today because, you know, we're on a live stream. So you go in, you use your username and password. This is your my KW password and username. Okay. Once you're in Kelly, I have 3 messages. I don't know what they are. They're probably that I haven't followed up. Yeah, these are all my follow-up stuff. Okay. So when you're in Kelly, all the way at the bottom, there's a command link. You go into command. Once you're in command, here are the various things you could do directly from Kelly. So these are automatically linked. So if you want to add a contact, you don't have to log into command. You just hit add you just go to contact, add new, and go that way. If you want to log into command from Kelly, you hit open in command. Now it's going to go into a window, and I have no goddamn clue why it sent me to my app. So somehow Kelly's connected to my app and it shouldn't be. So I have to disconnect it. What should happen for you is it should log you into your command. That's probably the easiest way. But command on phone and mobile, there are certain things you can or can't do. Okay? Going back to my screen. Are you
Okay,
still
thank
lost?
you.
You probably are still lost. Okay. Okay, we're back to the dashboard. Once you're in command, you look at the main menu and you go into Smart Plans. Now, if this is the first time you've been in Smart Plans, you probably don't have anything here. This is your library. You probably have nothing in there where it says Smart Plans. Okay. Soon you're going to have like categories. You're going to be able to create plans for people, plans for referrals, opportunity plans, listing plans. So you're going to have like a little folder library and create them all. Right now, we only have one folder. Eventually, you're going to have. What you want to first do, if this is your first time here, is you're going to go to library. The library are the pre-created manual follow-ups that we have. Okay. You have promote my app. When you're here, you could add this to your smart plan, meaning it will add it to this section of the of your library. You need to do that because this is saying I want to use XYZ ones. I've just clicked all of them over because I want to use them all. You want to see what they do? Well, this one is 5 steps. I believe it's 5 days and it's 3 touches. You hit view steps. So the first step that this is going to do is it's going to send an automated email out with some information. It's going to wait 1 day, right? And it's going to then send an email out. Excuse me, a text message. Hey, this is Augie Diaz with the Unique Homes team. Did you see that neighborhood listed listed a home in your area? Download my new KW app and check it out. Okay, so then the next one it's going to do, it's going to wait 3 days and it's going to follow up again. Then it's going to end. Okay, some of these pre-done plans you're able to edit. Some you are not. You can create a custom plan as you see fit. Okay, so this is a bi-weekly nurture plan. That means every 2 weeks, they're going to send out the to any client that you've created a neighborhood page for. Okay, it will send out that link saying, hey, here's some new stuff. So it's very simple. Email, wait 14, repeat the whole process again. And that email says, hey, you know, some new stuff happened in your neighborhood this week. You know, check it out on your private page or whatever it does. And it links to their private page. You have 8x8. This is a short-term follow-up plan over 8 weeks. Okay. Here's the process. They're going to send out a text message. You're going to wait 7 days. Then they're telling you that this is an interactive task, meaning they're telling you to somehow get a hold of them or email them. So in this case, it's sending out an email telling them you should send out an email to chat with them. Wait 7 days. It's going to remind you to call them. So part of your things to do that day is going to be a phone call, which is pretty cool. Sorry. Okay, it's going to be a phone call. Then they're going to wait 7 days. Now they're going to send out a text message, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. So again, it's a whole plan of how to follow up with these people in a certain time frame. Here's a quarterly plan. Okay, this is just basically you put everybody on a quarterly plan at a certain time frame. So then when you do the quarterly plan, so if you go in and on the week 1, you put all the A and W's on a small, so you use D2, DT. So you put all your week 1 smart plans on the same time, you throw them on this. It's going to remind you 90 days later to call those list of people again. Again, it's a great help and reminder to follow up with people. You spoke to a person today. They said that they're really not interested. Okay, I want to remember them. I'm going to set them automatically. At minimum, I'm going to set them up on a quarterly plan to remind me to call these people in 90 days. You could set up a 60-day plan. You could set up whatever you want, okay, on a custom. And you could go through these. The birthday one is really handy. Where do you think you can find people's birthdays if you don't have them, if they're your friends or family or contacts? Where do you think you find? Right, Facebook, the greatest thing in the world. Okay, you could just go into Facebook and just look up people, look up your friends and family, whatever, find out what their birthdays are and put them on here on birthday follow-up. It's the greatest way. Oh, I didn't notice they added a open house follow-up. Let's see what this one does. Oh, it's pretty cool. So they send out, hey, thanks for coming by. What did you think about the open house? Excellent idea. Honestly, how many times have we not followed up with an open house person for whatever the reason? Wait a day. Interaction. Nice to meet you at the open house. This is an email to them. Your name and follow-up plan. Wait 2 days. Call them. So what they're forcing you to do is, hey, call them up and follow up with them, and so on and so forth. This is fantastic. So it's already built in here if you don't want to create one. And neighborhood nurture. This is the monthly. This is another good one. all your past clients that bought or sold a home, set them up on an anniversary. If they bought, I think this is if they bought a home. So you're going to send out, send a gift or a card for their home anniversary. Then it says, give them a call. So you could, you could send out a postcard. Hey, congratulations. It's been a year since you moved out. How's everything going in your new home? Hope life is treating you well. Just a simple touch. And those simple touches is what's going to keep everybody, keep our names in their heads when they're ready for referrals. Does that make sense? That's what this whole system is for, is that people will remember us. And when the time is right to either A, refer business our way, or B, they need our help, we're going to be top of mind. Because remember, that's all it is when that moment is ready. I think Realtor did a statistics and showed that with agents, it was a huge percentage of real estate agents not getting the business like a year after they've done the transaction with the client. And then they had to do a follow-up transaction. We weren't top of mind. Why? Because we weren't top of mind. They forgot who we were. So this is what's really important. So go through the smart plan library, see which ones you want, click the add smart plan. What that's going to add, it's going to add to your library here. Now, when you're here, there are certain pre-made ones that you could edit. So like this is a pre-made one, right? Notice the edit, which is the pencil. It doesn't let me. This is promote my app. This allows you to edit it, but it's limited on what you could edit. And I would just go down like this one. You could edit the midterm neighborhood. You could go into it, just click it, and you could edit whatever you need to edit within here. It'll tell you what you're allowed and not allowed to do. Now, what I would do is I would think of what you want to do, and it's extremely, I cannot tell you how easy it is to create a smart plan. When you're here and you have the idea of what smart plan you want to create, you just go to the button here and said create. Now you name the smart plan. Maybe this is Facebook buyer follow-up. Because don't forget, the seller follow-up is totally different. The investor follow-up is totally different. You know what? You might even want to do millennials slightly different than you're going to do everybody else because of the way they think and neighborhoods and how they react to real estate. Okay, base your demographics off of that. If you deal with senior citizens selling their homes, it's a different thought process and follow-up system. All those things are what makes these smart plans phenomenal. Okay, I'm going to open up my window fully. Give me a minute here. You guys are still seeing my screen, correct? Okay, I assume grunt once for yes, twice for no.
Yes.
Right. Thank you. Only one that answers me. I appreciate that, Elaine. When you're here, you have a white canvas, a blank canvas. As everything within Command, the left side is your canvas. That's what you're working on. And the right side is what you could add to it. You could set up a task, which is going to be a reminder to you to do something. You could tell it. Now, it will not make the phone call for you guys. What it's going to do is going to tell you, hey, you got to make a phone call. And you could put in the reason why. This is send an email. Oh, it's a little sprocket. Let's look at the sprocket is for. Oh, okay. Well, that's all. Let's get rid of this for a moment. So this is sending an email. This is sending a text message. Remember, when sending a text message, you need, I know what that is. This is reminding you that you're sending an email. You need to have your email connected in the settings. And this is reminding you that you need to have Twilio connected in your settings. Okay. So you need to make sure both those to automate this system.
You have to have Twilio in order to do this. If you're going to do an open house and you're going to send it on your Kelly, you have to have Twilio.
No, you need to have Twilio if you want this to be sent automatically.
Okay.
So when you set this plan up and you say on day one, send out a text message with my app on it, right? For that to send out on day 1 or day 5 or whatever day you tell it to, for that to send out automatically, you need to have Twilio connected to your site.
So if I send out about 100 of these to people that are on my smart plan, okay,
this is a smart plan.
it's going to charge me per person, right?
It's very minimal. If you set up like $20, it'll hit it. I think it's like 0.7 of a cent or something like that. It's
Okay.
extremely minimal. And the idea is if you could send 200, 300, 400 automatic texts within a time frame, okay, and it costs you $20 or $25, even at like 2 or 3% engaged and did something and started talking to you, it's the greatest investment of your life. You want to talk ROI, but it's not going to be like, you're not going to get charged for like 40 emails, and you're going to be charged, 40 text messages, you're going to be charged like 20, $30. It's so minimal. But check the website for details on that, on exactly how much. Delays is how many days in between each action. The system will not allow us to do multiple connections with them on the same day. Okay, because they don't want you to over spam them. They don't want you to email them and then 5 minutes later text them and then 5 minutes later email them again, and so on and so forth, because you're going to get spammed and people just going to get turned off. Just to show you the settings, that's what I wanted to show you. When you're in settings, you go to your name. Okay, you hit settings. You're in here. 2 sections you want to make is you want to connect your Twilio account. Okay, go to their site, listen to it. I highly suggest you do it. It's like Easy Pass. You load $20 on there. When you've used up the $20, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it takes, then they hit you again for another $20. It's pretty much like Easy Pass. You want to make sure that's connected. And the very last area where it says command email, you want to make sure that's connected. Okay. This command email is what sends out your smart plans. That's the email functionality in smart plans. That's why this has to be connected. Okay, so let's see how easy it is to do. Now you think, what's the first step do you want to do? I prefer if you want to set a call. So this is a Facebook follow-up, okay, on a buyer follow-up. First thing I'm going to do is make a call. Okay, so all Facebook leads on, let's say we were using Alex's under a certain price range ad that he's been using. Call leads on what areas, call leads on Facebook leads on under $6.99. Now, don't forget, the client's not seeing this. This is you. It's going to be a reminder. Okay. Now in here, do a description. So you could use what they call here is the merge fields. This is really internal for you. So it's not going to make a call for you right now. So you could put here is call, and then you could create the list right from there. Call first name, call last name. Okay. You want to toss in the phone number. So now you could call, and it's going to remind you of who you're going to call. If you need a link, maybe really the link here, don't know what they use it, but this could be for your auto dialer, for your phone dialer. Maybe you guys use one of the auto systems that help you contact. All right. Doing how many days? Maybe you're going to do this on day either today when you put them on the smart plan. Maybe you're going to wait a day and contact them. It's up to you. Whenever the due date is for this. Okay. Now you go in. You set a delay. You could do a max of 1 to 30 days. So again, think of this like a flow chart. Like if you've ever created a flow chart of what you're going to do. Think of it as a list of things to do and when you're going to do it. Think of it as a menu, okay, and a recipe. So you plop into here, wait 1 day, and then I want a text message to be sent. So you're going to call them, wait a day, send them a text message. Notice up here says your Twilio account is connected. Okay. You're going to come here and you're going to just type in whatever message. Hey, Mr. Now, don't forget merge fields. Hey, Mr. Last name, boop, comma, how are you doing? Thanks so much for looking at my Facebook ad. Okay, these merge fields and these little information in these parentheses, what it's going to do, it's going to take that information from your command and it's going to personalize this. Okay, please note that you have up to 480 text. You can't really add a million things. You could pop in here. These are the things you could do. You could add their first and last name. You could add their email or phone number. You could do a birthday or anniversary. You could do your name, your team name, and more importantly, here is my app. Okay. Obviously, you could always add a link to your website. I don't know if I spelled my thing correctly. So you could add a link to that. Okay, so that'll be in the text message and I'll click to it. These merge fields are really your friend. Now you want to wait. You set a delay of 1 day, and now I want an email to be sent. Okay, now you're at the email stage. You could come here like a very simple email. You can't add images here if you're doing the simple email. You could bold, italicize, underline. You could add a list. You could add font size. You could change colors. You can make it center. You could add a link. This is good enough for what we need. You could add a handful of things into this email. So you could add their anniversary date. You could add their first and last name and stuff like that. So you could turn around and say, here is some info about buying a home. Maybe you have a bunch of list of blog posts in your blog or information. You could easily add bullet points. Blog 1, blog 2, blog 3, and now you just highlight it, add the link, and then add the link here. And just add it, and then it'll add to it. So if you do http aska.com, I don't know why I did the httpo, add link. Now that's linked. So when this email goes out, they could click this and go to whatever information I want. See, you don't have to create a massive newsletter, but if you want, they have certain pre-done templates, and we're almost done, guys. They have certain pre-done templates that you could use. So when you're in the email sequence, you can't hit the HTML. Notice when you hit the HTML, not the simple. Simple was what we were doing. When you hit the HTML, it says browse through the library window. Right now, there are a handful of ready done templates here. I would highly suggest using one of these templates if it's appropriate. So if you're doing a birthday wish, check out the birthday one. You could take a look at it. Here's a preview. You know, it adds all your information here. Happiest of birthday wishes. Hi, it merged their first name. Great clients like you are what makes the business like mine. Pleasure to run, yada, yada. There is no way to edit this, but if you look, it's a very generic thing. It's perfect. You would hit select template. Okay, and now when you hit next, it's going to be inside the thing, inside the email. This is working with sellers. Let's take a look and preview this. This is a nice one also. When you're ready to sell, I'm here to help. You could just create a simple email on this, and it goes, selling your home is complicated. That's where I come in, yada, yada, yada. And it gives a handful of bullet points that are generic to all of us. Let's work together. I think that goes to your app. I don't know where that goes to. Again, test these. Oh, no, that doesn't go to the app. That probably goes to a contact form or something. Test these. Here's your information. Download my app. I would set one of these up and I would send it back and test it. Same thing with the buyers. It's going to be a generic buyer setup. Okay, so it goes into preview and it goes into the buyers. So play with your smart plans. Don't be afraid of them. It is a whatever your imagination, you could pretty much do it within here. Now, if I wanted the flow to start over again, I would hit restart flow. If I wanted to add another smart plan at the end of this, I could just say set a delay and set an and I could turn around and say when this is done, and whatever days it's done, add them to my quarterly call plan. So what they're going to do is they're going to go through all this. Once they've done all this, if they've not responded to me, just go on my quarterly call plan and I'm going to follow up with them. That's how simple it is, guys. It really is. And obviously you're going to hit save. Now I'm not going to hit save because I have to add a ton of information. It's not going to let me. I've taken a little bit longer than what we needed. Any questions on what we've done so far today?
I'll play with it and see what I got.
Listen, this is what I would do. All of us should use our own contacts within command. So there should be a phony one saying Augie Diaz with my email on it. I have like 14 of them. I send all these smart plans, the customized ones. I put myself on it, and then I go from there. Okay, and you could either the big plus in the middle and up here it says the little person, or literally go to the contacts. Let it come up. Go to the contacts, open up the person, smart plans right here. Go to your contacts, open up the person, hit smart plans, add to smart plan. And all of them should come up here. Find your customized one, hit select, and let the process go. And let it go through the whole cycle to see if there's any errors. How did the email look? Does it make sense? Did my links work? Et cetera, et cetera. Before you send anything out, you always want to test it on yourself. You want to be the guinea pigs. All right. All right, guys.
Okay.
Any questions so far? Okay, awesome. I do appreciate everybody. Don't forget there is a 1 o'clock market center. What the hell do we call it? Meeting. My mind went blank. Stakeholders meeting. So make sure everything's on it. We've had some new news and updates. If you
I
have
hear
any
we're
questions-
open.
Well,
Can
I
we
don't
do
know if we're
anything or
No,
Andrew's still up his
opening-
has his head up
opening
his ass?
It's phase 1 only. That's all that
Uh,
open. We're
What are we
phase
We're phase two,
phase
right?
2. Yeah, we're phase 2. And even when we open,
Phase
it's
two.
going to be extremely limited.
Yeah.
Like they're only going to allow probably 25% of the office to be used and all the other stuff that you got to do. So I'm sure we're going to be going over those plans and updating everybody. So, but I'm
Cool.
sure that's the type of stuff that we're going to be giving some information out. So try to be on 1 o'clock.
All right,
as
sounds
always,
good. Excellent. 1 o'clock.
if you have any
Deal.
questions, I am available. But I will tell you this, I need to start curbing my time frames. Normally I've been available to you guys until all hours of the wee night. Usually I have to do a hard stop around 2 o'clock to open up for my marketing clients because, you know, I just need to. I'm just getting way too backed up with stuff. All right. So, but I'm here if you guys need it. You can always email me. You can always text me. I'll always take your calls. It's not like I'm not, but I have a lot of other work I still have to do. Not to mention I have this little pesky real estate business I do. Again, guys, all the best to your success. I will see you guys in an hour. Ciao.